important topic. I'm streaming live from YouTube and TikTok. We're talking about how to avoid an emergency myomectomy. Okay? This was inspired by a comment that was left under one of my posts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, Miss Tweety. I appreciate them. Okay? Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. How do we avoid that? Because over the years, and I've been doing this for a long time, for those that are new, watch me for the first time, women have come to me and expressed that they needed a myomectomy, which is a fibroid removal procedure, but we're going to get into that. They needed that, and due to their, they needed an emergency one because of their symptoms. Their symptoms were so bad, right? And women that are following me typically, for the most part, don't want to have surgery. This is why I'm holistic womb specialist, right? Typically don't want to have surgery, okay? They don't want to have surgery to get rid of their fibroids. So we want to talk about that today. How do we avoid an emergency myomectomy? Like, how does it get to that point where it's an emergency myomectomy, okay? So again, I'm streaming live on YouTube and TikTok, okay? If you're watching me for the first time, make sure that you're following, all right? And, but yeah, I want to read this comment that somebody left on my, one of my videos, okay? Someone left a comment, and as you guys are coming in, like the video so we can get more women in here. And also, if you're dealing with fibroids, put a 1 in the chat. Also, YouTube, put a 1 in the chat if you're dealing with fibroids. So someone left a comment under one of my posts, right, saying that she had to have an emergency myomectomy. And if anybody else is watching and they have been in the same situation, please let me know, okay? Share it with us, okay? But she said that she had to have an emergency myomectomy due to her fibroids being so large. And this is becoming more and more common, okay? Due to her fibroids being so large and pressing on her kidneys and causing fluid retention. Literally, right? So she's already, right now, 1 month post-op, 1 month after having surgery, and very nervous about regrowing the fibroids again, okay? But we're gonna talk about that. So the reason why I wanted to address this topic is because due to the amount of women with fibroids, and as fibroids, again, there's so many women that have fibroids. There's so many women that's been diagnosed with fibroids all over the world, literally. And we want to discuss this because you don't want it to get to this point. We want to prevent it from getting to this point where your doctor's literally saying you need an emergency myomectomy, okay? If that's ever happened to you, again, let me know in the chat. As y'all are coming in, like the video, okay? We're gonna talk about how do we avoid this? How do we avoid an emergency myomectomy, right? And also, two, what to do when you're in this situation. Your doctor says it's an emergency. You need a myomectomy, right? What to do when you're in this situation? All right. Hi, YouTube. Make sure that you guys are thumbs upping. Click the thumbs up button, click the like button. If you're watching from YouTube, thank you for the likes. Yes, let's get the likes up so we can get more women in the building. All right, so what to do when you're in a situation and your doctor is telling you, listen, we need an emergency myomectomy, okay? Is it really an emergency? Is it really an emergency? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna break that down today. This is an important conversation for women that have fibroids. And again, I'm going to, like I always do, really show you the whole picture when it comes to fibroids, because a lot of people, like I said, a lot of women don't get. And I posted about this today about my client. If you were reading my my community tab, I had a client who was literally trying to find answers to as to what to do about her fibroids for years, and she did not have the full picture. And when you don't have the full picture, you can't make the proper decision on your fibroids. So this is really important. Okay, this is why I do these lives. You guys know, if you've been following me for any length of time, I love what I do. And I love, again, not just educating women, working with women who have fibroids in order to help them become fibroid free, okay? So like the video. If you're watching from YouTube, like the video, click the like button, ladies, because like I always say, your doctor's not giving you this information. So listen, that's how you can reward me today, liking the video. It's free, I promise, okay? YouTube, click the thumbs up button. So first of all, thank you so much, Jew, for liking the video. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's get to the 1,000 likes. First of all, when it comes to an emergency myomectomy, it tends to happen to women that have the larger fibroids. It tends to happen to women that have been ignoring their fibroids for many years, okay? It tends to happen to women that they don't really have the full vision, the full clue on what's really going on in their bodies. Because if you did, you wouldn't be in this predicament. You wouldn't be in a predicament where you are dealing with these large, where you're allowing these fibroids to grow for years and years and years, okay? And I think I'm very qualified to speak on this topic as somebody that's helped hundreds at this point, hundreds of women become free from dissolve their fibroids, reverse chronic reproductive health conditions such as endometriosis, adenomyosis, uterine prolapse even, okay? PCOS, cysts, so many chocolate cysts, endometriomas, so many different health conditions, right? As somebody that's helped women not just shrink these also dissolve it, right? Eliminate fibroids. I think I'm very qualified to speak on this, okay? And here's the thing. Where the doctors drop the ball, they don't give you the full, how can I say this? They don't give you the fullness of what's really going on with your body. So a lot of women, they've been growing, they know they don't want to have surgery or they're scared of surgery, right? So they will just continue living with the fibroid. Or they'll go the route where they'll try all of these random natural remedies, and you guys know how that works. It doesn't, like, unless you're getting to the root cause of the problem, it does not, you're not going to see much of a result from that, right? So this is why a lot of women are allowing their fibroids to get so large. The amount of women that come to me that have fibroids the size of a watermelon is crazy, right? It's crazy, but it's a reality of what's going on. And I'm not just talking about Black women. I'm talking about women all over the world. I work with clients as well in Europe, all over Europe, even India, okay? Australia. Like, this is becoming a worldwide issue, okay? When it comes to this, a worldwide epidemic. A lot of women think it's just Black women suffering from this, and it's not. It's not. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you what I know. I've been doing this for years, and I work with women from, at this point, every part of the continent besides Antarctica, okay? So, typically this happens to women that have large fibroids, because a lot of times when women have very large fibroids, they're bleeding, they come with symptoms. They come with heavier symptoms, right? And we want to talk about the symptoms, like what qualifies you for the emergency myomectomy, and is it really, you know, an emergency, okay? So, put a 1 in the chat, ladies. Again, if you are dealing with fibroids, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. YouTube as well. For those that don't know me, my name is Sasha. I'm a holistic womb specialist, and again, I help high-achieving women dissolve fibroids, reverse reproductive health conditions, from my womb detoxification framework, right? That targets the root cause, that targets the root heavily, and helps women helps women completely heal from fibroids, right? Completely heal. So I'm all about root cause healing, getting to the root cause of the problem, annihilating the problem, which is not going to be you just take a herb and that's it. No, it's deeper than that. Okay, we have some ones also on YouTube. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome. So are these really emergency surgeries? And if you've ever had a doctor tell you, listen, it's an emergency, you have to get a myomectomy, let me know in the chat. Or if you ever had an emergency myomectomy, let me know in the chat, because again, these are becoming more and more common because more and more women are dealing with larger fibroids, okay? So what is a myomectomy first and foremost? In case you don't know, but I think a lot of women that have fibroids know, but just in case, it's a surgical procedure to remove the fibroid and preserve your uterus. So typically women have this surgery, they sign up for this when they want to either have children or they don't want to take out their uterus, because who wants to be castrated, okay? Don't get me started on that. But typically that, so women will a lot of times sign up for a myomectomy, right? If they don't understand and know that these fibroids have root causes. And then again, if they don't understand and know that, listen, when you have fibroids, there's deeper imbalances in the body. This is why I say it's important for women to be shown the full picture so they can make the best decisions for them, okay? Hi, D, welcome from YouTube, okay? So most women that have fibroids, most women that have, can we get the likes to 1,000 of you watching from TikTok? Come on, TikTok. Come on, TikTok, we almost there. So what do you mean by high achieving women? I mean, so when I say high achieving women, I mean women that they're movers and shakers in their life, right? It could be women that have type A personalities. They've achieved a lot in their life, whatever that looks like, whether it's just raising children, whether it's in their careers, that's the type of women that I work with, right? And that's because, again, Women like that tend to take their health very seriously. I'm not saying other women don't, but they tend to take their health very seriously. Women that are movers and shakers in the world, right? Well, that could just, I've had clients that were stay-at-home moms. I've had clients that were models, like literally real models, not just Instagram, real models. I've had clients that were, pharmacists. I've had clients that were owners of law firms, things like that. So, that's kind of, that's what I mean, in case but thank you for asking that. So my doctor said that my fibroids are multiple and large. Okay, you're in the right live, okay? So hold on, I'm about to change my diet and I don't have the symptoms again. That's good. But listen, we still have the fibroids. So you can dissolve and get rid of the fibroids. Listen, you can start off with changing your diet, but more does have to be done, okay? TikTok, I'm gonna ask one more time. Look, can we get the likes to 1,000 before I answer any other questions on TikTok? TikTok, y'all are slipping. Come on, we had 36 women here. We can get the likes to 1,000, right? Anything on PCPs, and I want to really keep it on topic today. We have a topic today. I want to keep it on topic, but again, you got to get, that's a hormonal imbalance. You got to get to the root cause of the issue. He said my option is that, I think you mean a laparoscopic myomectomy. Okay. All right. Thank you for whoever got us to over 1,000 likes. Thank you. Okay. So doctors, a lot of times myomectomies are based where my fibroids is located. My doctor recommended a hysterectomy. I refuse. Good. I'm happy that you're here. Okay. I'm happy that you're here. Okay. Thank you, Delicious D. I appreciate it. Okay. So I'm happy that you're here. So, however, there are times where doctors are like, even though majority of women they're the ones signing up for the myomectomy, they're like, I want to have it, after hearing the options. There's times where doctors like, listen, we got to do this hysterectomy because of your symptoms, because of where your fibroids located, or we got to do this emergency hysterectomy, and it's maybe within days they'll schedule it, or they really put their pressure on you, right? They put that and I've had a lot of women come to me and they said, I had to have an emergency myomectomy, and I'm like, well, why? And they tell me the reason. And I'm like, you didn't have to have a myomectomy for that. For those ones that are confused, we're gonna get to it. So they will, the doctors like to put the pressure on you. Oh, your health is at risk. Oh, this is going on. And the reason why I know what I'm talking about, I've literally worked with women that were in these situations, okay? So these instances where women are dealing with this is becoming more common. Why? Because it's, again, like I said before, it's more and more common for women to be diagnosed with fibroids, okay? And again, large fibroids are becoming more and more common. Before, it was rare for women to have a very large fibroids. It's becoming more and more common I'm talking about women all over the world, very large fibroids, right? So here's cases where doctors will say you need a myomectomy. There's a couple of them. Number one, this is probably the most common one. There's severe uncontrollable bleeding. And again, if you've been in this situation, let me know. In the chat, put a 1 in the chat. There's severe bleeding, like you are passing through pads every hour. You're passing large clots, and your iron is super low. There's a lot. You've been in a lot of women. This is the most common I hear, because they're in this situation. Their doctor's like, we have to have a hysterectomy now. A myomectomy now. You have to do it now or schedule it out in a few days. So that becomes the most common, right? Your hemoglobin is super low. There's another one. So this one too is pretty common as well. There's compression of the vital organs. And what does that mean? That means that our fibroids have grown so large that they're pressing on nearby organs. A lot of women that have fibroids, their fibroid is pressing on their bladder, causing urinary retention, and urinary issues, which is where the urine is not emptying it out all the way, or frequent urinations, right? Also, too, the fibroids start pressing on the kidneys, which can also cause issues, like, for example, the backflow of urine, right? Or kidney damage, right? So it starts causing issues when your fibroids because there's nearby. You have nearby organs near your uterus, ladies, okay? So as the fibroids grow larger, of course, this is going to cause more issues and cause your fibroids to start pressing on different organs, right? And we don't want it to get to that point. You don't have to let it get to that point, okay? Or they have what is called the pedunculated fibroid, which is This is kind of rare, but it happens. The fibroid that grows on the stalk, right? It grows on the stalk and then it kind of twists on its own, and that cuts off its blood supply and causes actual pain. I'm talking about intense pain, right? So these events don't happen overnight. Your body was showing you signs, but a lot of times, again, your body was showing you signs that the detoxification channels in your body were overwhelmed. When it gets to this point, the fibroids have grown really big, or your body gave you signs, right? But like I said, a lot of women, they don't know the full picture of what's really going on in their body. They don't understand that fibroids is a full body issue. It's not just a uterine issue. Your fibroids are not just a uterine issue. They are a full body issue. What does that mean? That means that if we have fibroids, our elimination pathways, our elimination organs are clogged up. So with the liver, the kidneys, not filtering the way they're supposed to. The liver is overloaded. It's not processing waste and getting rid of waste the way it's supposed to. The lymphatic system is backed up. The digestive system is backed up. So the immunity is lowered. So this is a full body issue. The hormones are out of balance. So full body issue. It's not just a uterine issue, right? So if you're in this situation, do you really need an emergency myomectomy? Do you? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Okay? And probably a lot of you guys are probably like, well, why? It's an emergency situation. Let me just tell you real quick, right? Do you need immediate attention? Yes. But do you necessarily need immediate surgery? No. There's the reason why I say this, because I've asked somebody that's worked with clients who the doctors claim, the surgeons claim that, listen, you need an emergency myomectomy. Some have even said hysterectomy, right? Because of the uncontrollable bleeding. Because I had one client that was literally bleeding, I think she said 21 days out of the month, and it was heavy, and she always had to be rushed to the emergency room all the time. Almost every period that she had, it was like 3 weeks long, she had to always be rushed to the emergency room. Like, it was really bad, and she was bleeding large clots as well, heavy blood. She couldn't, like, she was a mom, she couldn't really function. It was that bad that her iron was dangerously low, right? And I'm not just saying that we have a video testimonial on our site. You can go to the stories as well if you want to check out the testimonial. Within 3 days, the bleeding stopped, right? Does that always happen to every client that I've had? No, a couple weeks, right? But the symptoms start to lift, right? So it's important that you understand. Come on, all 33 of us can tap up to 100. Thank you, ST. Thank you. She's giving us important information. Show appreciation. That's all I ask. Thank you. Important information that your doctor is not giving you. Same thing with you, YouTube. You can click the like button. Let's push this out to more women. My fibroids were squeezing on my kidneys, so I had a myomectomy. How do I prevent them from coming back? Okay, so thank you for sharing that. So here's the thing. And let me just, I'll get to that question real quick. And I'll get to that question in a second, okay? So, hold on. It's always, YouTube can be weird sometimes with the bots. Okay, so my client, she did not have fibroids, she had cysts, but I have worked with several clients who have seen relief from their bleeding within 3 days, some of them a couple of weeks, right? And never had the bleeding issues again. Because you know why? We heavily targeted the root cause of the problem. The hormonal imbalances. When a client comes, like, I've had clients come to me in emergency situations. I prefer they come to me before it gets that bad. But you guys know how sometimes women are. They will wait till things get so bad because they sweep it on the rug for so long, and then they'll wait for things that get so bad before they actually, seek out help for it, right? Which is not good. If that's you, stop that today. Get ahead of these problems before they become bigger problems, right? And that's in any area of your life. But I've had clients come to me in this state, right? And of course, we got to stabilize their body immediately. Like emergency situation, we have to change everything, right? And get them in, and also to stabilize the nervous system. Because when you're bleeding like that, the anxiety, like the fear. So I have to help them calm their bodies down, because that anxiety and fear makes you bleed more and more and more. So I gotta help them calm their system down, and also change. It's an emergency situation. We have to change everything, right? And these tend to be, sometimes they're women that have large fibroids, sometimes they have women that have cysts, ovarian cysts, sometimes they're women that their fibroids may not be that large. There's women that have these issues, these bleeding issues, and their fibroids are not that big. I had another client that her periods were, she's really small, and her periods were, she said, from between 7 to 16 days. like heavy bleeding, large clots. She had no energy. Like her iron was super low. And she said by the time she got her, I think about 4 weeks later, by the time she got her next period, it was just a 2 to 3 days. I think she said, no large clots, so much better. This is 4 weeks after, from working with me, okay? So I say all that to say, listen, I'm not saying you have to work with me, but I'm saying it doesn't have, a lot of these emergency situations are not really emergencies. They're emergencies where you do have to get ahead of it soon. You do have to, like, stop making changes ASAP, but they're not emergencies where you have to get surgically cut open. They're not that type of emergency. Okay, so you have to be very careful when people tell you they're an emergency. Somebody asked the question, hysterectomy in 30 days, so glad I found you. Good, I'm happy that you found me too, because how many women have told me they've canceled their hysterectomies, they've canceled their myomectomies after just following me? Because they understand, listen, this is a full body issue. And if I don't, when we have fibroids, again, we still have those hormonal imbalances. We still have the digestive system. So if you have a hysterectomy, it will just, like I said, manifest into another health issue. And that's what it does. My fibroids were squeezing my kidney, so I had a myomectomy. How do I prevent them from coming back? You got to get to, so for women that's already had a myomectomy, you have to, this is your time. ASAP, I'm not talking about next month, next year, ASAP, heavily target those root causes because you're still hormonally imbalanced. You still have, the digestive system. This is why women will grow the fibroids back really quickly, right? A lot of times, sometimes even take a year before they actually confirm they had fibroids, but it was growing right after, like a lot of times, not long after the surgery, because when you have these issues and then you go through surgery, your body's already in a weakened, compromised state when you have fibroids, and then you go through surgery, that makes the situation worse, right? Now, yes, you'll feel temporary relief. You'll get rid of those fibroids temporarily, but what is that doing to your body on the back end, right? So I had somebody come to me, and I've shared this, who had 5 myomectomies, 3 laparoscopic surgeries, 1 open myomectomy, 1 abdominal myomectomy within the course of 12 years. She was only in her 30s, and now her doctors were telling her, listen, your womb is not strong enough to carry a baby. So these uterine surgeries are no joke. They're no joke, okay? Oh no, my sister died 4 weeks ago. I'm so sorry. She had fibroids removed. It had a rare cancer, and the cancer came. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I send my condolences. I'm so sorry. And ST, I don't know if you've been following me before. I've been speaking on that, the fibroid, the cancer pipeline heavily. Because a lot of times these doctors are telling you, oh, it's benign. Yes, but the environment in your body is not benign. I'll tell you that right now. So that estrogen dominance that you have when you have fibroids, ladies, everybody listen to me clear. That, I'm not saying you're going to get cancer, I'm not saying that, but for sure, but the risk of you developing cancers do become higher. The number of women that had fibroids, and I'm talking about other reproductive health conditions such as cysts as well. What was I gonna say? Endometriosis, and this applies to y'all too. Right? These estrogen dominant conditions, right? There's certain cancers, right, that are estrogen dominant. Breast cancer, uterine cancer, even cervical cancer, right? Ovarian cancer, what else? Endometrial cancer, colon cancer. They're very common in women that's had fibroids and other reproductive health conditions. So what am I trying to say? This is why I was telling somebody earlier, you have to attend to the environment in your body. You have to change the internal environment in your body. You got to get to the root cause of the problem. These surgeries do not get to the root cause of the issue. They don't. And more, the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because more and more women are being diagnosed with cancer after having fibroids. I know so many women that have had fibroids and now have cancer, or have had to battle cancer, right? They got, this is real, and this is serious, and it's not a joke, right? It's not a joke. A lot of you guys have children, right? Or you have how can I say this? We have to fix this problem before it gets worse. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. As a holistic womb specialist, I see this more and more. I see this more and more. Okay? I see this more and more. It's not only, yes, eat healthier. It's not only diet though. It's your whole entire lifestyle. What from your mind, even your mindset, right? Because a lot of these spiritual root causes to the trauma that you're holding in your body. It goes deep, and we bypass a lot of this stuff when it comes to our health. A lot of us know we should be living healthier lives, but are you really doing it? And I'm not talking about healthy lives as just eating healthier, which is, if that's where you can start with that, because that's important. I'm not going, undermine. That's important, but it's deeper, right? Because because a lot of women have said they eat healthy, and they still have they still haven't seen a difference with their fibroids. It's deeper than that. It's a whole around lifestyle change. Okay, so it never has to get to the point where it's an emergency. Number one, and number two, a lot of times if they claim it's an emergency, you don't have to be surgically cut open. I tell you guys, I have clients that have been in these situations, right? Now, if it's like, a lot of times it's not it's an emergency where you do have to attend to them ASAP, but it's not an emergency where you have to be surgically cut open, because on the back end, that's going to make things worse. Thank you. Yes, please double tap the live. Yes. Okay. So so I'm going to talk about this. I know that this may, but for those, I'm not saying that you have to work with me, right? Because there's other women doing this work as well. But for those that are interested, I do have private, and I typically don't put out one-on-one sessions, one-off, because I like to work with people in the program for an amount of time, right? Because I'm really passionate about this work, because it's not, a lot of times women need more time. So, but I do have private one-on-one fibroid healing sessions available for if you're dealing with fibroids, and whether they're large, whether they're smaller, whether they're giving you symptoms or not, if you had fibroids and you had surgery. Also, too, if you have any other reproductive health condition, you can also do this, and I will tailor the session to you. These are Zoom sessions. They're private. They're one-on-one. I only work one-on-one with actual clients that I work with in my programs, but I wanted to put these sessions out there. We have 4 left, and they're only $297, okay? And they're designed to help you uncover. This is a personalized session. It's a 1-hour session. They're designed to help you uncover what's really going on in your body, right? Number one, why your individual root causes, the blocks that are holding you back from getting rid of your fibroids, and the next steps on shrinking your fibroids, like what's really going to help you, accelerate your healing, right? That is so during this 60-minute session, we're going to work together to really identify your personal causes. I'm going to ask the questions, really get into your womb history, what's really going on, into the hormones, and you're going to get and pinpoint what needs to be changed, right? And pinpoint the next steps on what your body can do to start shrinking these fibroids, okay? So if you listen, I'm not able to work with you, I have 2-month intensive open now as well for those that want to work with me longer, but you want relief, you want next steps, you need to know what to do now, right? Then be sure you can click the link in my bio, book a session. Again, we have 4 left, and that's after the 4 are gone. That's it. If you're watching from YouTube, the link to book a session, my private one-on-one fibroid healing session, is in the description box. And if you're watching from TikTok, be sure to also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So, why do women suffer for all of these? I'm still in the waiting list for open myomectomy. You personally may want to cancel. And are you in the Europe? If I'm not, the reason why I ask is waiting list. Typically, waiting list is typically when there's free healthcare. Okay. But are you in Europe? Let me know if you're in Europe. So here's the thing, right? Okay, you're in Europe. Okay. What country are you in, by the way? I'm in Europe too now. From the US, but I'm currently in Europe. Currently live in Europe. So why do women suffer for all of these? Because let me tell you, collectively, right? Women, it goes deep. It's societal. There's, Women really, like I said, they don't understand how powerful they are. They don't understand how powerful they are as literally portals. A lot of women are carrying a lot of trauma and pain, unfortunately, right? And when you carry a lot of trauma and pain, when you don't work on this stuff and release it, these develop into fibroids. They do, or other womb issues. When you're carrying in the body a lot of trauma and pain, patriarchy is one of the reasons, right? But guess what? And I also talk about this in my Sacred Womb Letters, and I'm putting out a blog tonight. If you're not subscribed to the Sacred Womb Letters, you might want to subscribe. The link is in my bio. By the way, if you're watching from TikTok, if you're watching from YouTube, subscribe to the Sacred Womb Letters, because I've really been in my writing bag, okay? Patriarchy is one of the reasons, but guess what? Women are the main unfortunately, a lot of women are upholding patriarchy and have been for many years. You know why I know? There was now, and I'm going to do content around this as well to break it down. There's now something going on. There's a study going on where they're saying that it's not the women that have the biological clock, it's really the men, right? They're saying that, it's really the men that have it. They're saying that sperm does become, men become less fertile. I guess, I think they said they're more fertile in their 20s and then less fertile, I think they said after, I don't know if it's after 30 or after 40. I have to read the report. But this is something that women should have known for years. I'm shocked that this is news to women. I was so shocked that it's news to women, because you don't understand that you're a portal. There's no expiration date on your fertility. That's a whole other conversation. I really dive deeper into those topics in the Sacred Womb, where the womb healing truths that women need to know. You don't understand how powerful your body is. And yes, society has done everything to suppress women and make them feel powerless and make them live in a state of anxiety and fear. Society has done everything so women, but you have to stop falling for it. Right? You have to start following, because women are still thinking that their fertility dries up at 35, and you're making decisions based off that. And that's sad. Right? You think that you have an expiration date. Your fertility has an expiration date. Don't get me started on that. Okay? But because again, women have been so brainwashed. Like, it's ridiculous. But here's the thing. The reason why a lot of women are having fertility problems in their 20s, 30s, and women that I've worked with women, for those that are new, who have had fertility problems for years and had issues getting pregnant for years, get pregnant naturally. Okay, just one FYI. But the reason why is because of all of these hormonal imbalances, right? Disconnection from self, disconnection from the womb, disconnection from it. So if we're dealing with fibroids, if we're dealing with these womb issues, this is also gonna reflect back into the life that you're living. So the women that have these womb issues, there tends to be a lot of unfulfillment, unhappiness. There tends to be a lot of overwhelm, emotional exhaustion. There tends to be a lot going on in their life as well, because the womb, listen, if that feminine center is off, that's also gonna impact you in many different ways. This is why when women are on this journey of womb healing, you can't live the same life that you did when you were dealing with when you developed the fibroids. A lot of women want to do that, and you can't. You have to make and for those that are new, I dealt with fibroids. I dealt with these issues, right? I did not have fibroids. I had it twice. Okay, had the surgery the first time. Did not know what did not know what I know now. But after that, I went on a journey. Research, being certified, and healed my womb. And the life that I live now as somebody with a healed womb, as opposed to before, is totally different. My mindset, everything is totally different. It's important that a woman that is hormonally out of balance is an imbalanced woman. I always say this on on my videos. So where are you out of balance in your life? It affected my nerve in my thigh. That's another thing. I have acne. That's another thing. Fibroids will start, as they grow bigger, depending on the location, they'll start pressing on nerves. That's another thing too. So a lot of women, because of fibroids, have nerve issues. That's another thing, right? This is why these things have to be addressed, right? So I know there's women out there who are interested in doing this work and need help doing this work, right? And need guidance, need support, need somebody to really pour into them and help them along the journey on a personal level, on a one-on-one level. I do have my 2-month intensive inside of our high-level program, the Detoxify Your Womb program. In case you don't know, that program has done wonders for women over the years. Oh my God, I'm so proud of that program. But I have opened up a 2-month intensive inside of that program to work with me starting November 1st to work with me for the 2 last months of 2025, right? To powerfully work with me on a one-on-one level to completely dissolve, to help them dissolve their fibroids, to take them through the full process, to also help with emotional releasing in the womb area, shadow work, because all of this stuff, like I said, all of this stuff has to be done, right? To help you along the process for 2 months, right? This is our high-level gold standard program that has helped women not just get dissolved fibroids. I'm talking about several fibroids. I'm going to dissolve 4, 5, get rid of their fibroid bellies, right? Because you guys know when you have fibroids when you have the enlarged uterus, the fibroid belly can grow. I've had women get rid of PCOS completely, endometriosis completely, adenomyosis completely, uterine prolapse completely, right? So I have a lot of women now messaging me about that after seeing our client's testimonial video. Get pregnant naturally. And if you have not seen our client case study that worked with me for 6 months in the full Detoxify Your Womb program, because the full program is 6 months long, then be sure to click the link in my bio, okay? Our client case study, where she not only got rid of adenomyosis and fibroids, she also got pregnant naturally. She also unblocked her tubes, got rid of uterine scarring from previous surgeries she had. Oh my God, so much, right? So if you want to read her full process throughout the whole program, be sure to click the link in my bio and read the client case study, okay? If you want to read the client case study, if you're watching from YouTube, the link is in the description box, okay? I put that out there and several other testimonials so that you can know how powerful the body is. As a woman, you can know how powerful your womb is. Our organs are so powerful, they can regenerate themselves. But listen, we have to create the internal environment for your body to do that. It's not going to do that with you still living the same life. It's just not. It's just not. You have to make the necessary changes. And somebody said this perfectly on one of my live streams. This journey of womb healing is a spiritual level up, is a physical level up, and also an emotional level up. The way you operate as a woman will be different, okay? In a good way, more aligned with the higher version of yourself on a different frequency. Instead of the frequency of fear, of pain, of loss, I need something to balance my hormones to prevent them from coming back. Okay, so I would recommend, if you're interested in working with me, the Fibroid Healing Session, the one-on-one session. Again, I have 4 left, okay? So if you want a one-time, if you want to, and you get the replay. You get the replay, so you can watch it as many times as you want. You can reference it as many times as you want. Now, for the ones that want to work with me longer and want to do deeper work, the 2-month intensive, okay? I hope this was helpful. Majority of the time, I would say 9 times out of 10, emergency hysterectomy is never, emergency hysterectomy and emergency myomectomy is not needed. But what's needed is that, again, you understand and know that your body is very intelligent. It's perfectly made and perfectly designed. But if we have fibroids, there's a lot of toxicity going on in the body. And if we have fibroids, we have to develop a healthy environment in our body. We got to do the work to develop a healthy environment in our body, because currently it is not healthy, right? If you have fibroids, you're not healthy. I've had so many women tell me, I'm healthy, but I have fibroids. You're not. You're not. You know what has to go on in the body before you develop tumors? They're no joke, right? They're no joke. And again, the fibroid, the cancer pipeline is very real. I'm not gonna say that's gonna be everybody's story, but it's very real, and it's happening more and more. It's more and more common than people think. So I'm not saying this to fearmonger. I'm saying this for you to start taking this seriously. Stop sweeping this under the rug. The fibroids are there. They're not gonna go away until you make changes, okay? So I say all that to say, listen, again, your body is very intelligent. Your body knows how to heal. You just have to provide the environment for it to do so, okay? So TikTok, make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Click the link in my bio, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Sacred Womb Letters. They're so good, especially if you are, you want to know more information about the deeper side of womb healing, right? The more spiritual side of womb healing, the emotional side of womb. Subscribe. And also, if you're watching from YouTube, you click the link in my description box, subscribe to, and also the email list too. The email list too. Subscribe to the email list too. You'll see where to, if you click the link in my bio, you'll see where to do that. Subscribe to the email list. YouTube, also subscribe to the Sacred Womb Letters. It's free. We do have a paid version of where paid subscribers, they get more details, more frameworks, more in-depth information, right? So if you want to subscribe, I think it's like $22 a month. So it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. But that is all. That is all I got for you. I hope that this, and I know that some women had hysterectomy, you know, so that had hysterectomy scheduled, myomectomy scheduled. I hope that this inspired you to get to the root cause of the problem instead of signing up for these surgeries that actually put you in a worse situation on the back end, right? Having surgery and then having the fibroids grow back is not fun. It's not fun. As somebody that's been through that, it's not fun. And it's not worth it. And I don't want to keep hearing you guys have all of these myomectomies, UFE procedures, which is uterine fibroid embolization, all of these information, like all of these things, right? And still have the fibroids. They come back. When you don't address hey, Monique, hey, welcome. When you don't address the root cause, it will always be an issue. They will always come back, okay? So love you guys. Have a good night. Well, good day. It's night where I am, but have a great day. And again, if you want to work with me, we got 4 slots left in a private one-on-one fibroid healing sessions. They're $297, book one, okay? Once they're gone, they're gone. Bye, ladies.